So we are in this thing. There is a lot to unpack. There is a lot to go over. We have so much to break down. Now, they have resorted to slandering Nolan. With no surprise to any of us, once there is a bombshell in the case, we hear this audio that has been released. The smear campaign for Nolan Wells has ensued. Now, just after the audio has been released, conveniently, there was two people who seen Nolan Wells and have proof that he was on Horn Island after the friends had left. Then the report jumped from two people who seen Nolan Wells on the island to 60 people can confirm that he was on the island. Now, once that wasn't working, now they are upping the ante and now they are claiming that they have proof. Mind you, the medical examiner's findings are not supposed to be revealed until the grand jury, right? That's what they told us. That's why they said that we can't know what happened with the throat, lungs, and all the identifying things that can lead the second person who performed the autopsy to know what happened to him. Now, even though that has not been confirmed, they are reporting that Nolan Wells was under the Tony Montana. Okay? They saying that he was on that white Tony Montana and he was full of it. Okay? They have jumped the gun from saying, oh, this is nothing more than a drowning to a full-on accusation that he was on drugs. Okay? They jump from 0 to 100 real quick so that they can try to refute some of the audio that we hear with our own ears and try to smear him so that people can get off of the boys that left him on the island. The tactics are sick, deplorable. They even resorted to slandering the mother's medical practice by bombing her reviews with unfavorable reviews. They have resorted to doxing the woman who cleaned up the audio. Now, the woman who came forward and cleaned up and enhanced the audio, she said, there's a lot of noise in the background. Let me clear this up so that I can hear what's going on. So she took her expertise, she cleaned up the background noise, isolated the operator so that we can hear a lot more clearly what was happening in the back. Now, she was only the first to do it, right? So after there was traction and people started to hear this audio, then the major news who overlooked the background decided to get their own engineers to also enhance the audio. So TMZ got their engineers to enhance the audio. We heard the same thing. Nancy Grace got her engineer to enhance the audio. We heard the same things. And so did Don Lemon. Now, Don Lemon did a report and he said, hey, there's this woman, she enhanced the audio, and this is the audio that she did. But I wanted to, as a, credible person, get my team to enhance it. And he compared the two and he played his version of the enhancement compared to what the woman enhanced, and they pretty much all have the same thing. However, the white supremacists and the racists are working overtime to slander anybody who dares report what we hear in that audio. They have worked so much so overtime to the fact that they have resorted to doxing. Okay, it wasn't enough to go and slander a grieving mother's medical practice, right? They went as far as to making the woman who cleaned up the audio, they made it a point to dox all of her information. Some loser that I saw on the internet, she be having like stringy, greasy looking hair. She's like really unattractive and miserable with her life. She resorted to doxing this woman's LLC. She doxed her, I guess, previous arrest. Now, the mugshots don't look like the woman. I don't really know if it's the correct person or not. The mugshots look like a completely different person, but she has, you know, the woman's, all of her personal information on there. She doxed her LLC information. However, this same loser bitch, she also found it a problem when people were identifying the people that was left with Nolan, right? It's wrong to identify the actual people who were with Nolan, but it's perfectly fine to dox a woman simply because she used her expertise to clean up audio. The same audio that TMZ got an expert to enhance, Nancy Grace got an expert to enhance, Don Lemon got an expert of their show to enhance. The same audio has been enhanced by several different networks. When it comes to anybody else who, hey, this person was with Nolan, oh, that's like the worst thing that they could do. But it's investigative reporting when they dox people. The links that these people will go is deplorable. They have no integrity at all. Okay, they have no integrity. They are willing to do whatever it takes to blindly defend people that they don't know are innocent or not. We have not seen the findings of the autopsy. We don't know if there was true foul play or not. However, they are so confident that they are willing to go to whatever lengths it takes to disparage a family who is simply looking for answers. It's disgusting. But what is good is the mother of Nolan Wells decided to put out notices that she plans to sue everybody involved, rightfully so. And she put out a request that they better preserve everything and don't delete nothing, okay? Because, period, hit them in their pockets, why don't you? I'm gonna pull up some of the information that I was able to gather, and we have a lot to go over. Now, in addition to everything that they're doing to slander Nolan Wells' parents, everything that they're willing to do to slander Nolan Wells, who wasn't a degenerate, he wasn't a thug, he wasn't somebody outside causing problems, he wasn't somebody that was a delinquent. They are willing to do anything they can to disparage him so that they can try to make these white boys that he was with look good. Now, in addition to that, they're also trying to cancel Nancy Grace. Now, Nancy Grace did some videos where she decided that she wanted to get justice for Nolan Wells, and she said that she feels as though some things don't add up. And after she decided to release audio, oh, baby, they are mad. Da, 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 da. How dare you ask for justice and not blindly cape for these white boys who we don't know if they're innocent or not, but because you're white, how dare you ask for justice for this black boy? Oh, they are piping hot. They are mad. They are fuming. You can literally see their comments, and you could just see the faces are red with like steam coming from their ears. Ooh, they are so upset that a person would dare ask for answers to a suspicious death of a young boy, a young man actually. Oh, they are mad, baby. They want her canceled, okay? They are not here for it. Now, I'm not a fan of Nancy Grace. I've said it before. I think that some of the things that she do is crazy, but I just found it so interesting how quickly they are willing to throw her under the bus. Anybody that doesn't just get behind these boys and blindly accept the things that they say, which you can hear don't make sense. They never directly answer any questions. They sound completely rehearsed and coached. I don't know if they're coached or not, but they sound like it. And if you point out any type of inconsistency, the same thing that they do when the person or the suspected person is black, oh, you are a villain, baby. And you are a villain, Nancy, in their story. How dare you seek justice for a black boy? Oh my, oh my, oh my. You done pissed them folks off, honey. You know, it don't take much for the gutter snipes to get pissed off. You know, they literally just seeing black people have a good time. Like anything just makes them upset. They're so mad that not Warren, but they're so mad that Nolan was a good kid and they couldn't slander like a record on him. They couldn't slander, him being a thug like the Metcalf twins who, according to Mike Howard, were arrested for racist graffiti. Oh, they are upset that they can't put stereotypes on him. So guess what? They're like, listen, we're mad that we can't put these regular stereotypes that we normally place on black people. We're so upset. Who can we pin this on? Who can we take our frustration and our hate for black people out on? Oh, baby. And they decided anybody, just like the Carmelo Anthony case, anybody who speaks up for Nolan Wells or asks for justice, they have decided to step outside their door with their pitchforks, okay, and trying to virtually lynch anybody who they feel is coming in their way. And then they have the audacity to point the finger and say, oh, look what they're doing. Bitch, you doing the same thing that you claim that they're doing. They have no freaking integrity. They have no heart. They are evil, disgusting gutter snipes. And I'm glad that Nolan Wells' parents are not playing with their period. So let's get into the new things that I want to go over with you guys, because there's, like I said, a lot to talk about. I have a hard time, like, if I'm introduced to somebody as a certain name, it's so hard for me to revert from calling them that. He's not an officer. I don't know if he was just doing, like, you know how they have those people that are in police uniforms that are officers, but they're like at the ticket meters just writing people tickets. I don't know if that was his position. That seems like it. He doesn't have any integrity. He doesn't actually have investigative skills. He doesn't ask questions that a true detective officer or anybody of that type of authority would ask. So I don't know what type of officer he was. He's no longer an officer now. I don't know if he was a disgraced officer or if he retired naturally. I honestly don't know. I can't imagine him being an officer of integrity because he has none. So I gotta refrain from, it's really giving mall cop for real. I have to refrain from calling him officer because he's not. But I'll adopt the name that Secret Service Sam called him, which is Batum Tatum. So Batum Tatum came out with a video and he wants people to know that, or he wants to spread the allegation that Nolan Wells had in his system. Let's get to it. Let me pull it up. Breaking. I've been told by reliable sources that heavy drinking and allegedly played a role in Nolan Wells' death. Toxicology results will ultimately determine whether those claims hold up. Now, any person of integrity would actually wait for this to make it a fact, but he's trying to make this a fact and throw it out there so that he can smear Nolan Wells before everything comes out. But let's hear it.
To think that nobody saw it when they're entangled within all these people, I think is a disservice. We need to get to the information that I heard. We'll get to Miss Rachel and her silly self and Judge Mathis. We'll get to Judge Mathis. But what I was told, and you guys, please take in consideration that it's reliable sources. However, the only way to prove the truth in this is if I see it with my own eyes, if the law enforcement have the investigation of this, and also when the toxicology results come out. But people are messaging me and telling me that there is heavy drinking and there's cocaine involved. And there's a particular person whom I know this person's name. I'm not going to disclose it. I'm going to go to the police first, and then I will disclose it if it doesn't interfere in the investigation. But this person allegedly.
Why not, before you get on your platform to slander Nolan Wells' character, why wouldn't you go to the police first? Why wouldn't you go to the police first? If you had any integrity before throwing out this slanderous rumor that you have not corroborated, why wouldn't you go to the police first to ask? Because you don't have integrity. You don't care about the truth. You don't care about the facts of it. You just wanted to get out something salacious to make him look bad so that your white audience can say, good job. We knew that N-word had something nefarious on his own doing.
Was offering people. I'm not going to disclose it. I'm going to go to the police first, and then I will disclose it if it doesn't interfere in the investigation. But this person allegedly was offering people cocaine, and someone close to Nolan, one of his friends, told me that this person was offered cocaine and rejected it from this person. And I was also told, and this person told me that it's over 100% chance that Nolan was using cocaine during this period of time. This person said it was 150% sure that when the toxicology comes back, that Nolan will have cocaine in his system.
Now, if you guys heard the case with the woman who was pregnant and she got her baby daddy had decided to give her these abortion pills and gave her this solution, there was this liquid cocaine that was slipped in her drink and it ultimately unalived her, right? This case just went on social media. It was a biracial guy who impregnated a biracial woman. And when she became pregnant, he was upset and he was looking for ways to terminate the pregnancy. Now, when she lost her life, they found cocaine in her system, but it was given to her orally. Now, before, like, we don't know if anybody gave him something, but if somebody is so definitively sure that that's going to be in the toxicology, I would like to know if it's found orally given, and if that is why the medical examiner is looking to further test. Because how are you so sure? Okay, you're so positive. It sounds like a guilty person trying to throw off the fact that they did something nefarious. I don't trust this supposed 150% person, but we knew that the slander was going to come. Okay, we knew that the cover up was in. We knew the fix was in. And we knew that they would not allow this innocent boy to go out unscathed with his reputation. And they are willing to do anything to alleviate any heat for these boys leaving him on the island. They have no bounds, they have no bar. They will resort to anything. And if they know this information, are the medical examiners leaking stuff to conservative racists to help this narrative? Who is giving this information? Well, on Facebook, where he probably got his information from, a guy posted an email exchange from MDMR. Now, in this email exchange, it is a guy by the name of Will Poston. He posted this and it says, an email exchange between the Mississippi Department of Marine Sources and the U.S. Coast Guard received by ABC News describes Nolan Wells' alcohol intake as heavy. How do they know this? This information comes from witnesses who made the initial call to DMR. Are these his so-called friends? The toxicology report, along with the state's autopsy, are not expected to be released until they are presented to a grand jury. So this Will Poston person presented this email exchange. And on this email exchange, it is allegedly from a Will Freeman, and it was dated Sunday, July 5th, the day directly after this tragedy. And it says, good evening. As part of our response, the MSDMR requests SAR data related to the missing person, Nolan Wells. The MDMR will use this data to start sonar scans in the area. While information is still limited, we request the following be used for data search. So this is the email. So on this email, this is what they're talking about, right? So as you can see right at the bottom where it says the date, the time, the location, and the subject, they gave the description for Nolan Wells. It says date 7/4/2026, and then it says the time, and then it gives the location GPS data. Then it says subject male, black, 6'1" tall, 180 pounds, food intake unknown, alcohol intake heavy, clothing shorts only. So this is what was put out by Will Freeman. Okay. And this is the request that they are referring to in the article that I'm going to read to you guys. All right. So in this, it says nothing. It says nothing about. It says nothing about. But Batum Tatum said, you know what? I'm going to up the ante. I'm going to up the ante and I'm going to put an allegation of on him to really muddy the waters and claim, because you don't really have to show proof these days. All you have to do is say you have a source, and they feel like that covers them to slander somebody. Oh, well, my source that they can't produce, that we have no proof of. We don't know who this source is. We have no idea how to vet this source, verify this source, see if they're credible or not. They always throw that my source said da 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 da. But where's the source? Who is the source? We're not taking your word for it. You have no you have no integrity. But so I just had to back up and show y'all that. Now let's go to the article. So So this is the article right here on ABC where they're reporting that he had heavy alcohol intake, right? Well, we've seen the pictures of him with his friends, and we saw them drinking alcohol. Now, we didn't see Nolan drinking alcohol, but according to his friends, he was drinking alcohol and doing underage drinking as well. And so what they're telling us is, hey, he was involved with heavy alcohol. And like I said, Tatum wants to up the ante and slander him.
To think that nobody saw it when they're entangled within all these people, I think is a disservice. We need to get to the information that I heard. We'll get to Miss Rachel and her silly self and Judge Mathis. We'll get to Judge Mathis. But what I was told, and you guys, please take in consideration that it's reliable sources. However, the only way to prove the truth in this is if I see it with my own eyes, if the law enforcement have the investigation of this, and also when the toxicology results come out. But people are messaging me and telling me that there is heavy drinking and there's cocaine involved. And there's a particular person whom I know this person's name. I'm not going to disclose it. I'm going to go to the police first, and then I will disclose it if it doesn't interfere in the investigation. But this person allegedly was offering people cocaine, and someone close to Nolan, one of his friends, told me that this person was offered cocaine and rejected it from this person.
Now, in the midst of all of the slander that is taking place, Ashley Cole, this is her Facebook account. Ashley Cole is the stepmother of Warren, right? Warren is the first person to interview with Tatum and did all of these inconsistent, contradictory answers where he never answered the question, danced around the question, sound highly rehearsed and coerced into a statement to give the audience. Ashley Cole, who is his stepmother, she decided to put on her social media, right is right and wrong is wrong. Now, in addition to her coming to say that right is right and wrong is wrong, she made this big dissertation about how she is afraid for her kids' lives. All right. So I read to you guys this on a previous live, but this is the stepmother to Warren. Okay. And she says, our family, along with the community, grieves the loss of Nolan Wells. Our thoughts and prayers are with Nolan's family. Our son Warren loved Nolan dearly. Unfortunately, I feel that it is appropriate for our family to dispel some rumors with facts based upon the social media attention that is being diverted away from the Wells family and their loss. Yes, I deactivated my Facebook given the very heightened emotional state of social media right now. I fear for the safety of my child and my children. My husband and I have 6 children, and we covet their privacy. We don't believe it is appropriate for our minor children's photographs to be circulated throughout the internet, presenting potential threats to their safety. I graduated high school with Christine Wells Walmsley. We are from the same community. I have the utmost respect for her and all of the Wells family. We mourn the loss of Nolan with them. Our prayers have been and will continue to be with them. My husband and I were not at Horn Island at any point on 4th of July. No one in our family is trying in any way to impede with the investigation by law enforcement or to otherwise hamper the family and law enforcement's quest for answers. Warren was interviewed by the Jackson County Sheriff's Department and cooperated fully. He saw Nolan last around 3 p.m. on July 4th. They left around 4:30 p.m. when the boat was taken on the water and they had an issue with the bilge pump. Nolan made a decision to stay on the island and return inland with another group of friends. Yes, I am a judge. I also value transparency. I apologize if anyone was offended that I deleted my social media. There was no nefarious motivations in my deleting of my social media. Social media has a lot of positives, but a whole lot of negatives. We live in a world of clickbaiting, sad but true. My family is hopeful that this information will help to redirect the attention to the Wells family, their grief, and their need for our community support. So she posted that. Then she posted another post where she says, we have decided that we will not be speaking to the press at this time. The media is not appropriate forum to further elaborate on the facts of July 4th, 2026. Mind you, she's the one who was seen commenting under officer or disgraced Batum Tatum. You can see her under his comments telling her to check, telling him to trying to get his attention and all. So we know, or it looks like she's the one who set up the interview with Warren to go with Batum Tatum. But she wants the audience to know that the public isn't the correct form, although she set up her stepson, or at least it looks like she set him up because we seen her in the comments of Batum Tatum getting his attention. She said the media is not the appropriate forum to further elaborate on the facts of July 4th. We realize the truth will not stop the cause for the death of our small children. We have not had the opportunity to speak to the Wells Walmsley family or their attorney. However, we are willing to directly communicate with attorney Ben Crump and the Wells Walmsley family. We will provide them with all the information known to us so their family can rest and properly mourn. We also want to know what happened to Nolan. We will do everything within our power to assist Nolan's family in their quest for answers. So then she posted this post. Right is right and wrong is wrong. Okay? And that is Miss Judge Ashley Cole. Okay, she's the Chancery Court Judge for Jackson. All right, that's Miss Ashley. All right, she's in the beautiful state of Mississippi. All right, that's Miss Ashley right there. And she is the stepmother of Warren. Now, she's not the only one to speak out about this, okay? Now, also, Warren's biological mom, who did go to the island, she also spoke out. But before we get to that, now the parents of Nolan decided, to hell with what y'all got going on. You are going to be put on notice that your ass will be sued. Okay, can I get an amen? All right. So, according to this website, let's switch the tab here. According to the website right here, it says parents of Nolan Wells, friends, and local officials told to expect a lawsuit. All right. It says the same day Nolan Xavier Wells was laid to rest, attorneys representing his estate sent a notice of intent to pursue litigation on behalf of his estate to the Wells friends, their families, and others connected to the investigation into the 18-year-old's death. The move came after a Jackson County Chancery Court judge appointed Wells' mother, Christine Walmsley, administrator of her son's estate. She signed paperwork the same day as the funeral. Nationally known civil rights attorney Ben Crump, who is not licensed to practice in the law, so you see how they do? Who get, like, they always throw out something to discredit somebody. All of these news outlets. Nationally known civil rights attorney Ben Crump, who is not licensed to practice law in Mississippi, is working with the Ridgeland law firm Carol Bufkin, PLLC. Attorney Gary Bufkin signed the notices. Bufkin has represented several high-profile clients, including defendants in Jackson welfare probe on unrelated Jackson bribery cases involving blah, 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 blah. So it says Wells, who was black, traveled to the island by boat with a group of white friends. The friends returned to the mainland without him, telling authorities Wells stayed behind to talk with the girl and other friends. 2 days later, a National Park Service ranger found Wells' body on the northwest tip of Horn Island. Wansley, who appointed administrator of her son's estate, retained by Crump to investigate the circumstances surrounding Wells' death. The preservation notices were sent by Mississippi attorney working with Crump. Although many of the letters were sent to the parents of Wells' friends, similar notices also were sent to entities involved in the ongoing investigation. The letters instruct recipients to immediately preserve all evidence in their possession, custody, or control in its original, unaltered form. They also direct recipients to suspend any automation, deletion, or overwrite functions that could destroy evidence. Specifically, recipients are instructed to stop automatic deletions or overwriting on cell phones, computers, videos, cameras, and any other electronic devices capable of storing data. The notices also direct recipients to prevent electronic devices and systems from automatically deleting or overwriting information after a set period. The preservation notices demand that recipients retain evidence across numerous categories that include the following: text messages, iMessage, multimedia messages, WhatsApp communications, Signal communications, Telegram communications, Snapchat communications, Instagram direct messages, Facebook Messenger communications, emails, all draft emails and messages, group chats, deleted or archived communications capable of recovery under the category cellular, telephone, and electronic devices. The following is SALT: cellular telephones, tablets, laptops, desktop computers, smartwatches, cameras, external hard drives, USB storage devices, SD cards, any other electronic storage device. For each device, preserve the complete contents. In addition, the following is listed under the title Metadata: documents, emails, text messages, photographs, videos, audio recordings, GPS records, social media content, electronic files, deleted information, modified information, edited material, archived information, hidden information, replaced information, information scheduled for automatic deletion or otherwise altered under surveillance and security. The following is requested: marine surveillance, dock surveillance, parking lot surveillance, nearby business surveillance, residential surveillance, traffic cameras, law enforcement surveillance, communication of all kinds of the following is sought from prosecutors: investigative files, communications of all kinds with law enforcement, including text messages, instant messages, and emails, witness interviews, recorded statements, photographs, videos, grand jury material, to the extent preservation is required by law, digital evidence received from any source, correspondence concerning his investigation, information sought from the state medical examiner. So this is from the medical examiner, I guess what they see. Autopsy reports, preliminary, or this is what they're seeking from the medical examiner. Autopsy reports, preliminary findings, final reports, toxicology reports. Oh, wait. Y'all can't see what I see. Hold on. Y'all saying the chat is off? Wait, what's going on? Are y'all there? Is the chat there? Press 1 if the chat is up. Press 1 if y'all can type in the chat. Okay. All right, I see ones in the chat. So this is everything that they are seeking in the preservation of records. You said, okay, so it's working now. All right. So as you guys can see, this is what they are seeking. Now, let's move on to Nancy Grace. Now, there has been a lot of people outraged at this audio and the suggestion of a transcript that says what it all means. Now, the MDMR released 8 minutes of this audio. So I'm going to go to their official release of the audio. We're going to listen to the audio in full for the full 8 minutes. Then we're going to go to Nancy Grace, who she released audio. Then we're going to go down the rabbit hole. All right. So if you guys are here and you have not hit the like button yet, make sure to hit the like button because they might be trying to report your girl. So make sure y'all say, listen, we like this content. It's here and we rocking with it. Also, if you guys want to support the channel, you guys can always donate to the channel by donating via Cash App, Neek at Night Media, but you have to spell it exactly like my channel. Now, with that being said, let's go to the MDMR release of the call. Now, let's go here first because this is when it first was released. All right. So, as you can see right here, this is all right, so as you can see right here, this is the WLOX. They got the full release of the call, and they released all 8 minutes of it. And it says, this is the recording. It is a call made from a teen on the boat on Horn Island. Now, a big area that people are paying attention to on this call is the moment before the call is answered. So while the teens are on hold, there is a lot of things going on in the background.
CETO Assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and
All right. So as you can see, there was, and this is not the cleaned up audio. I want to play for you guys the before there's any enhancement, before there's anything to it, before anything is cleaned up, fixed up, or anything like that. This is the audio that is playing. There's music playing because they were on hold. So as they were on hold waiting to be transferred to answer, there's this hold music that you can hear. But listen, beyond the hold music, you can hear somebody say, "Oh my God," and all of these other things. I want you guys to listen closely. And if you have to, put in headphones. When you put in headphones, you can hear a lot better. Put in headphones. I'm going to start it back from the top, and then we're going to listen to it all the way through.
Detail assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles?
What'd you
Hello?
say? Hey,
Yes, how far is the water coming up, sir?
it's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down now.
All right, well, let's get you going. Membership number or phone number listed on the account, sir.
I don't know the phone number. It's either. I think it's. Try that.
All right.
I know we have a membership, like guaranteed. I don't
All
have the
right,
tag
unless
on
you
here.
have a
It got ripped
membership
off.
number or anything, it's okay. I'll get you over to the captain. What's the best phone number to reach you at?
Reach me at 2.
All right, and is everybody on board in good health otherwise?
Yeah, everybody's
How
on
many?
board.
All right, do you need the United States Coast Guard?
What?
Do you need the United States Coast Guard?
No, we do not need that.
All right. All right, do you have your current GPS coordinates?
Let me go look.
If not, I can send you a text message.
North. All right, are you ready?
Yes, sir, I'm available.
North 30 degrees by 4672.
All right, 4672. All right, and you were breaking up a little bit. Can you just repeat it one more time to make sure I have it correct?
Sorry, look. What
Hello,
do
can you
need to
hear
send
me?
Yeah, what?
So you're breaking up. If you need assistance, do you have a VHF radio?
Yeah, we do not have the VHF.
You could tell these is some entitled prick kids who ain't never had that who you talking to conversation with. Because what do you mean what? Like, you're calling her for help. She's trying to get an understanding of what's going on. And you sitting there talking about some what? And Warren, who did the interview with Batum Tatum, he wants us to believe, oh, there was no animosity. Things were never awkward. We never got into it. This boy is ready to pop off on the freaking operator at the split second of her just saying like, like what, like getting more information, but you want us to believe that there was never no friction, everybody got along, everything was cherries and rainbows, it was a kumbaya zen place, but we hear how rude this boy is on the call.
Correct.
Sorry, look.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, what?
So you're breaking up. If you need assistance, do you have a VHF radio?
Yeah, we do not have the VHF radio.
All right, well, let's try to get you going because you don't have good cell phone reception. Can you verify your coordinates one more time?
Okay, my coordinates are 30 degrees by 14.684 north, and then west by 88 degrees by 46.79.
Right, it looks like you're on Horn Island, correct? Are you
Yes,
on
we are
Horn
at Horn
Island?
Island. Yes.
All right, is the boat sinking or you have it aground?
We are sinking, yes.
Is it aground is the question?
No, we're not aground. We are in
Okay.
17 foot of water. We're in 31 foot of water.
All right, have to ask. What do you want to do? Do you want to be towed back?
I want to get this boat unsank and towed back, yes.
All right, where would you like it towed to, sir?
You can tow it to Ocean Springs Harbor, or Fort Bayou Launch.
All right, how many adults and children on board?
No, there's no children.
So is there anybody on board? How many adults, sir? That was the question. Hello, can you hear me?
Gotta jump in and pull the plug while you're going.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Yep, I just need you to answer these questions so I can get you over to the captain.
Okay.
How many
what's
adults
going
on board?
What's up? There's 0 adults on board.
There's nobody on board the boat?
No. Nobody
right.
here is over the age of 21.
Sir, that was not the question. Is there a person? Is there a person, a living individual on the boat?
Hello?
Is there a living person, someone breathing on the boat? Is there anybody on the boat?
Yes, there's lots of people breathing on the boat.
All right, how many people, sir?
Like 7.
All right, thank you. Does everyone have life jackets on or available to them?
Yes, we have life jackets available.
All right, verify what boat's sinking.
A Triton, 22-foot offshore, 22-foot Triton offshore sea flight hull.
All right. All right. Please hold. I'm transferring you to the local captain now.
Okay, thank you.
This is Captain Seth.
Hi, Captain Seth. This is Vicky from International. How you doing today?
Doing good. How are you?
Good, good. I apologize ahead of time. I really do. You're going to have a fee for service come up under,
Okay.
the, it sounds like a bunch of kids on board on Horn Island. He's letting me know that his father's a member, but he can't give me any information. And he's saying the boat is sinking, and he's on Horn Island. It's just unfortunate. He's just a kid. There's a lot going on. So
Right.
he said there's about a lot of people on board. He says he thinks about 7. I'm guessing they're all under 18.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to be rude. He wants you guys to go out there and unpump the boat and then tow it in.
Do you know what kind of boat it is?
He said a Triton 24-footer, but that's all he can give me.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just actually got off the phone with his grandpa, who I'm guessing is the owner of the boat, and
Is
he said
Okay.
I just hung up with him. He said that they don't need any help right now, but if something changes, he'll call me back. So
Oh,
I'm
right.
guessing that they may have figured it out because that's
All right. So as you can see, as soon, and I mean as soon as she was on the line with him, with one of the boys on the boat, she's on the phone with them. This guy, she transfers to him. They're calling for help. At the same time that they're calling her, the grandfather is calling the captain at the same time to tell him that they don't need help. So she's like, wait, they're calling for help. And then he is saying, well, I just got off the phone with the grandfather and he's saying that they don't need help. And she literally is on the call with them. So people want us to overlook these things that don't make sense and make anybody out to be criminals because people are pointing out the things that come off really odd and strange. You have boys who make a call and we can hear all of these things in the background. And at the same time that they're making this call, the grandfather is calling the captain. And when the woman on the phone with them is like, hey, well, let me talk to the captain so we can get them out here. And he's telling her, oh, no. I just talked to the grandfather and they don't need our help. And when she was talking to them and she was asking them if they needed the Coast Guard, they told her no.
Thinking, and he's on Horn Island. It's just unfortunate. He's just a kid. There's a lot going on. So
right.
he said there's about a lot of people on board. He says he thinks about 7. I'm guessing they're all under 18.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to be rude. He wants you guys to go out there and unpump the boat and then tow it in.
Do you know what kind of boat it is?
He said a Triton 24-footer, but that's all he can give me.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just actually got off the phone with his grandpa, who I'm guessing is the owner of the boat. And he said,
Okay.
I just hung up with him. He said that they don't need any help right now, but if something changes, he'll call me back. So I'm guessing that they may have figured it out, because that's what he said. So they're in a panic and their boat won't crank.
Yeah, they're in a panic. He's saying the bilge is not keeping up. I asked for Coast Guard. He said no, but he's just really upset on the back end. And, you know, I get it. It's a kid. He just doesn't understand.
They're in a panic. She wanted to know if they needed the Coast Guard. They don't need the Coast Guard. And then Grandpa is simultaneously making the call that they don't need help, but he's calling for help. But Grandpa is saying they don't need help.
And
okay. Do you still have him on the line?
Yes, I still have him on the line. And again, I couldn't find, he couldn't give me anything regarding his grandfather's, you know, membership. So it's just under fee for service.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just talked to, if you want to, we're so tied up right now. We can't really do any non-member jobs right now.
Is he a member? Did you find out if he was a member or not?
Yeah, but I'm not sure if it's his boat or what. I'm not sure what's going on with it. But yeah, transfer the kid over. I'll talk to him, and then I'll call his grandpa back as well.
All right. And did you want me to look up membership number or anything like that to see if he's up? I know you guys are
You
swamped.
can try this cell phone number.
Yes, sir.
Anything on his phone number?
All right. Yep. Yeah, he's an active member. Hold on.
What kind of boat do you have on there? Same boat?
Yeah, he's one of your members. Yep, 22-foot Triton. All right. I'll just disregard this one. I'm gonna send you over an accurate one under this one. Okay, he's one of your members. You'll get in a couple minutes. Okay.
Okay, perfect. All right, and yeah, just transfer this kid over whenever you get a chance.
All right, transferring now. Thank you again, Captain.
All right.
Stay safe out there. It's crazy. Have a drink.
Oh, it's wild. All righty, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Hello? Hello? Are you there? I apologize. I will be disconnecting due to lack of response.
All right. So that is the official audio that was released from the call for CETO, the dispatch. Now, let's go to Facebook for Janetta Brantley. So Janetta Brantley went to Facebook on July 26th. Some of you guys are saying that she wasn't the first to clean up the audio, that it was other people. Well, she's the one that people are picking up hers. So I don't know. So she said, I cleaned the CETO call. Now listen for yourself. I spent hours carefully cleaning and isolating portions of the July 4th, 2026 CETO international call using traditional audio engineering. This is kind of what she says in the video. Let's just listen.
I did, what you're looking at on the screen, and why I chose to approach this audio the way that I did. As a professional audio engineer with experience in dialogue editing, dialogue cleanup, sound design, and post-production, I decided to work on that CETO call using traditional audio processing techniques rather than relying on any AI voice separation or AI enhancement. My goal was pretty much to preserve as much of the original recording as possible while making the quieter dialogue and background audio easier to hear. So I basically used techniques such as subtractive EQ, compression, gain adjustments, noise reduction, frequency isolation, and other traditional processing methods. So what I did was I separated Vicky, the sea tow dispatcher, from Warren and the audio originating from the boat so that I can concentrate more closely on what was happening behind and around Warren, pretty much on the boat. And I specifically chose not to rely on AI because aggressive AI enhancements and voice isolation tools can sometimes introduce artifacts and distort the speech or create ambiguity around the sounds that were originally present. And for something this serious, I wanted my processing to remain as conservative as possible. You'll also notice time code and dialogue written on the side of the screen and pop up during each segment. That dialogue represents what I personally hear as an audio engineer while processing and repeatedly reviewing these sections. I'm pretty much providing it as a listening reference, not as a declaration that my interpretation is the only possible interpretation. And that's important. I want you to listen for yourself, use headphones if you have them, listen closely, and decide with your own ears what you believe is being said. You can also return to the original unprocessed recording and compare directly with what you're hearing here. You'll also notice that my time code may not match the regular timestamp on the original uploaded video. And that's because I'm working inside a professional post-production timeline, a digital audio workstation, basically using SMPTE time code, which in film, that's displayed in hours, minutes, seconds, and frames. Film and TV timelines are completely different from timestamps that you see when you're watching regular videos or when you're watching a movie and you hit pause. So basically the time code on the screen is there to identify the precise location within my working session, not to represent the elapsed timestamp displayed by the original video player. And I hope that makes sense. For this first video, I'm sharing only approximately 37 seconds of the call. I originally intended to continue much further, but once I separated the dispatcher from the boat and started concentrating exclusively on the background dialogue, what I believed I was hearing became extremely difficult for me to process emotionally, and I needed to take a mental break. But I wanted to release this portion because some of the details that stood out most to me occur very early in the call, like right at the top of the call. And so I'm gonna let the audio play. Read my transcription if you want to reference, but don't allow it to determine what you hear. I want you to listen first, listen again, compare it with the original recording, and then judge it with your own ears. I hope this breakdown helps. And my
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership. Hey, up! Shut the fuck up!
Okay, so first, listen again, compare it with the original recording, and then judge it with your own ears. I hope this breakdown helps. And my
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership. Hey, up! Shut the fuck up!
okay, so
All right. So that's the audio that she shared. Now, as I stated, from her sharing this, other people decided to bring up her mug shots from 20 years ago. So as you can see, this post was posted and she reposted what a Dusty posted about her. And they posted her picture and they posted mug shots of her And she basically responded to them because she cleaned up this audio. Now people set their sights on her to dox her, similar to what I went through during Carmelo Anthony. What they do whenever you are doing, work that goes against their narrative, they put out a digital virtual hit piece on you and a smear campaign. And so what this Dusty did was search her name, and like I said, they doxed her LLC information, they doxed her previous mugshots, they doxed all of these things to try to discredit her work in cleaning up the audio and do a smear campaign, similar to the smear campaign that I received during the Carmelo Anthony trial. It is textbook, repetitive tactics 101. And the tactics are anybody who goes against the narrative, and this is what it looked like from my experience, and now looking at her experience, is they throw out this smear campaign on you. Then once they try to smear your name and try to do this smear campaign, if you respond to their attack on you, it's not journalism to be pulling up her mugshots. It has nothing to do with the audio that she helped or enhanced. That's not journalism. That's not investigative reporting. And these same people that claim to be journalists, it's so odd that they know everybody else's business, but can't find out or can't tell what's going on in their own homes, which is odd. Like, everybody else's business and you can investigate everybody else. But when it comes to, anyways, so they pulled out this to smear her name. And also the similar people are also targeting Nancy Grace. So after targeting her, she basically defended herself, and she said, this will be the only time I address this. I've never hidden my past, and I've never denied it. The misdemeanor charges on my record are more than 20 years old. And the people who truly know me have known about them for years. Those records do not define who I am today, the work I've built, or the person I've become. They also do not prove that I committed any crime. Plenty of people like me are incarcerated right now for crimes they did not commit. Attempting to discredit someone by digging up decades-old records instead of addressing the substance of their work is a tactic I've expected from the beginning. It doesn't change why I'm here. I also want to be very clear. I do not want anyone attacking, harassing, or engaging in personal battles with anyone on my behalf. That only creates more division and that's not my focus. My focus has always been one thing: justice for Nolan Wells. The questions surrounding this case deserve answers, and they deserve a thorough, transparent investigation. That has not changed. To everyone who has supported me, thank you. Your encouragement, thoughtful discussions, and commitment to seeking the truth mean more than you know. Please continue to stay respectful, stay focused, and don't get distracted by the noise. The conversation should remain where it belongs. What happened to Nolan Wells? His family deserves answers, and that is where my attention will remain. Now, this was the attempt to discredit her, slander her, smear her name. However, TMZ cleared up the audio. Nancy Grace had an engineer clear up the audio. Don Lemon also had an engineer clear up the audio. And from those networks, they also shared audio that you can hear the same things in her audio. So in an attempt to slander her, all of these other big platforms played the same audio from their team of engineers, and you can see that she simply cleared it up. Now, she made the disclaimer and she said, hey, don't rely on my transcription. This is just what I think that I hear, right? Like, this is just what I think it sounds like just rely on your own ears. Now, when I heard it, there are things that was in her transcription that I heard, and there were minor things that I heard a little bit differently, but all in all, it's the same audio from all of these entities. But because she stepped out on a whim, and other people in the chat are saying other people did it first, but because she was the one most recognized for doing it, they decided to slander her. All right. Now, let's go to Nancy Grace, who also shared this call. She put, tonight, Nolan Wells enhanced distress call breaks down tonight, hashtag Nolan Wells. She put, enhanced distress call. Nancy Grace breaks down the newly released audio as a friend reports their boat is sinking near Horn Island. Watch now on YouTube. So she released this clip.
What?
And let's listen to it.
Detail assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles?
What'd
Hello?
you say? Hey,
Yes, how far is the water coming up, sir?
it's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down now.
What did we just hear? What was that? Straight out to investigative reporter Crime Stories, Dave Mack. Did you just hear what I heard? Now, this has been transcribed, and this is the CTO dispatch call. Because, Dave, when I first heard this, I thought, has this been doctored? Is this real? Where's this coming from, Dave?
This is an official recording, Nancy, that is being issued, and it's shocking when you listen to this call for a tow, for the CTO. Going further into it, Nancy, you're picking apart all of the different voices that can be heard on this one phone call, trying to determine what is really taking place on this boat that is allegedly sitting in 31 feet of water, a depth of 31 feet. And a bilge pump not working, claiming they're sinking, and calling for help. And yet, in the background, are we really hearing all of this other activity?
All right. And on her YouTube account, she went further to say that
Breaking news tonight.
She went further to say that her team enhanced it. So I want you guys to hear how she says that her team enhanced the call.
In the Nolan Wells investigation, enhanced distress call audio bombshell. Good evening. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. I want to thank you for being with us.
He was face down on the beach right at the water's edge.
If he was sent face down, that also doesn't make sense to me. If he's face down, wouldn't blood pool just by nature of gravity this way?
So right now we've got a lot of questions, but as the second doctor says, this is all still pending investigation.
If this were your child, wouldn't you want to know what happened?
Detail assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles?
What'd
Hello?
you say? Hey,
Yes, how far is the water coming up, sir?
it's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down now.
What did we just hear? What was that? One more time, please.
Hey,
Yes, how far is the water coming up, sir?
it's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down now.
Straight out to investigative reporter Crime Stories, Dave Mack. Did you just hear what I heard? Now, this has been transcribed, and this is the CTO dispatch call. Because, Dave, when I first heard this, I thought, has this been doctored? Is this real? Where's this coming from, Dave?
Nancy, this is coming from from Mississippi, from the actual official. Okay, when we get into the Mississippi Fish and Wildlife and at the reserve putting this out for the public, this is not like from Dave Mack's recording. This is an official recording, Nancy, that is being issued, and it's shocking when you listen to this call for a tow, for the CTO. Going further into it, Nancy, you're picking apart all of the different voices that can be heard on this one phone call, trying to determine what is really taking place on this boat that is allegedly sitting in 31 feet of water, a depth of 31 feet. And a bilge pump not working, claiming they're sinking, and calling for help. And yet, in the background, are we really hearing all of this other activity?
Guys, this was released from the MDMR, the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources. Alexis Tereszczuk joining us out of LA, just joining us now, Crime Stories investigative reporter as well. Alexis, the transcription, I want you to listen to it, Alexis.
All right. So let's go to, and I'll find exactly where she said that she had her people enhance it. Maybe she already said it. I don't know. I was looking at something else. But
West tip of horn, and our bilge pump stopped working.
So this is Don Lemon playing it, and then his audio guy says that he enhanced the audio.
Everything that this audio says, because again, his friends left, so he's allegedly seen alive by people hours later. Then what we're hearing in the audio isn't what we actually think we're hearing. But if what I heard, which is Nolan and is he dead, and people didn't actually see him later, then I think this would be damning evidence.
Oh boy. Yeah. Every time we get something, I think it makes there are more questions than answers about this. But however, I'm really bad at these things. I have really good hearing, but I'm like because I'm hearing everything. Now, she didn't necessarily say that she enhanced it. She said she tried to use as few of enhancing methods as she could. Basically, she just separated the tracks. Andy, you're a technical director. Tell us what she did. Yeah.
Well, I think she did more than just separating the tracks, because she talked about how she's a dialogue audio expert and used different techniques to, isolate people's individual voices. So I think there is more to it than like what I did, which is just separate the left channel from the right channel, which was dispatch audio versus the phone call. Yeah.
I mixed up with your thing and what she did. Okay, go on. Sorry. Andy.
Oh. Yeah, so
she used
that's about all I have to say. Yeah.
Okay. And then you separated the tracks yourself.
Yes. So I could play a version of the audio that I just downloaded from the WLOX YouTube page, and I just turned down the left channel, and the right channel is just the friend's phone call.
Okay. So, yeah. And it is
anyone can do that at home.
Anyone can do that at home. And it's the same call.
Yes, minus her, techniques.
And what people, let's listen to yours and see what people hear.
All right. So what they're going to play now is Don Lemon's own person that works with him, he decided to do an enhancement for himself. So they didn't want to just take her word for it. They wanted to go down the steps to see if they come to the same or similar findings in the audio. And so they're going to play their version after they played her version to see if they line up, if they sync up, if you hear the same things. And let's play it to see if you hear the same things from the Black woman who did her enhancement.
All right, so I'm going to start it with both tracks, and then I'll restart it with just the friend's phone call.
Okay. This on hold music is sending me.
I know. Okay, so now I'll redo it minus the left channel, and we'll just hear the friends.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and
Yeah, I can hear it without the transcript. I can hear it. I'm just listening to it, and I didn't know where the "is he dead" or any of that stuff is coming from. But yeah, I mean, you guys heard that, right? Is he dead?
All right. So that's Don Lemon going over it. So he had his own independent audio person cancel one track so that you can only hear the call from the guys, and you hear the same thing that you hear from what the other woman had posted. Now, TMZ also enhanced the audio and they put out their version. However, they wanted you guys to not pay attention to what the other people said that they transcribed, and they wanted the audience to disregard any of that because they have evidence that Nolan was seen on the mainland after the call. So listen to what Charles at TMZ says.
Talking about him and talking about him possibly being dead while they were on their way back to the mainland from Horn Island. This is all because of some audio that we got from officials down in Mississippi. This audio is a call that's being made from the boat that Nolan's friends were on. So after they're on Horn Island on July 4th, at the end of the day, about 4:30, they decide they're heading back to the mainland. And the owner of that boat, or the grandson of the owner who's driving the boat, realizes that they are taking on water. Their bilge pump isn't working, so he places a call to a tow company called Sea Tow. And while he's on that call, there is a lot of commotion going on. And what people think is that in the background of that call, you can hear someone say, "Is he dead? Nolan. Oh my God." It's really hard to make out. This is what it sounds like.
CETO assistant, Vicky speaking. How can I help you? All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir?
no, we do not need that.
All right.
Oh, let the go. No, we do not need that.
Now,
All right. So as you can see, in addition to, I think her name was Janetta, doing her enhancement, and then you seen that Don Lemon, his guy who does audio, did his enhancement. Now you see TMZ also did their version of the enhancement, and Nancy Grace also posted her version of the enhancement as well. And you hear the same things in all of the audio. But depending on which platform you want to hear from, they want to tell you what you hear. I think that the audio call is based on your interpretation on what you hear them to say. let's listen to what else he had to say about it.
There are other parts of the audio where people think they hear the words check his chest or wake up. One thing you can definitely hear clearly is the guy who's calling the tow company says, shut the bleep up. Now, he could have been yelling to some people. He does tell the dispatcher that there are about 7 people on board, all of them under the age of 20, under 21, he says. Now, here's what doesn't make sense. If they really were, and again, that audio is very difficult to make out. I mean, you can definitely hear, oh my God. The Nolan and Izzy dead part is up to interpretation. What doesn't make sense is why would they, if they had something, if there'd been foul play and something happened to Nolan or someone did something to Nolan on that boat, why would they be talking about it loudly while he's on the phone to a tow company? Just doesn't add up. People we've spoken to in Ocean Springs, Mississippi, say that that whole conversation here in the background is just chaos as these young, as I say kids, but these young men were trying to get back to the shore and the boat's taking on water. They're all trying to figure out what to do. Are they going to have to get off the boat? That's what all that chaos is, what we're told by people connected to the kids who are on that boat. The other thing is, this is after 4:30. We have been told that there is evidence that, or the police have testimony for people that Nolan was still on the island after 4:30. That would track with what Warren has been saying, that when they left at 4:30, they had a heated conversation with Nolan saying, get on the boat, get on the boat. And he said, I'm not going. I'm going to get a ride back with someone else. So it would make sense that Nolan would still be on Horn Island after 4:30, which means that this whole audio, while they're on the boat after 4:30, they've left Horn Island, they wouldn't be referring to Nolan. It just seems like people are hearing something that isn't actually there.
All right. So that's what he said for TMZ. Now, on Don Lemon's show, he talks a little bit further about this and speaks about his interpretation of what he hears, and he goes into more detail of these supposed people who gave statements that they saw him on the island. Now, on 1 minute, he says that they have proof that he was on the island, and then he goes into the what ifs of it all. If there is a person, if there's proof, if there's this or whatever. And I'm like, do you guys have proof that he was on the island, or do you not? Do you have evidence that he stayed after 4:30, or do you not? I find it completely suspicious that they left at 4:30, but Warren wants us to believe that the last time he saw Nolan, and mind you, their boat is not a big boat. Now, I could see if they were on a yacht style boat and he could have been on one side and he didn't see Nolan. But while he is saying that a person is yelling at Nolan and saying, get the F on the boat, we then hear the Cito audio where we heard somebody saying, get the F up. Right? In Warren's interview, he said the last time that he saw Nolan was at 3 p.m. But at 4:30, when they were leaving, he heard his friend tell Nolan to get the F on the boat. Matter of fact, let me pull that up before I go any further. Hold on 1 second. Let me go to Batum Tatum's video. 1 second.
time I saw Nolan was 3 o'clock. And Katie, Nolan was sitting there, and the last time I saw him, I looked at Nolan, and Nolan was like shaking his head, laughing, and I was like, dude, you crazy. I was like just joking with him. And but anyway, Nolan, that was the last time I laid eyes on him. But when we were leaving, obviously, no one is getting left at the island that came with us unless they demanded to, be there and asked, this is a very common thing at Horn Island. When you're out there, a lot of people ride out there with someone and in with somebody else all the time. I've done that 100 times. It's a very common thing, but Nolan was sitting by the boat with that Katie girl, and my buddy yelled for Nolan, get on the boat. We're leaving. The boat's having issues. And no, he didn't say that, but he was panicking. Nolan, get the F on the boat. Get on the boat. And Nolan said, no, I'm staying out here. I'm going to ride in with somebody else.
Let's go back to the call again. So he says that he didn't see Nolan at 4:30, right? The last time that he saw Nolan was at 3 o'clock. But at 4:30, his buddy is saying, Nolan, get the F on the boat. Well, in the call, we hear somebody saying, get the F up, or shut the F up, or wake the F up, or whatever interpretation people make it out to be. Let me go back to the call where you can hear somebody say and shout, get the F up, or shut the F up, or let's go back here to TMZ.
Is he dead? Nolan. Oh my God. It's really hard to make out. This is what it sounds like.
CITO assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you? All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir?
No, we do not need that.
All right.
No, we do not need that.
Now, there are other parts of the audio where people think they hear the word.
And no, he didn't say that, but he was panicking. Nolan, get the F on the boat. Get on the boat. And Nolan said, no, I'm staying out here. I'm going to ride in with somebody else. And it's not uncommon to hear, but it's not like my buddy asked him one time. My buddy asked Nolan multiple times to get on the boat. Nolan, get on the boat. Get on the boat. We're leaving. If you're coming, you got to come now. And Nolan made a decision to stay out on the island. And like he said,
how many people heard that?
All right. So then he goes in to ask how many people heard that, which, again, the boat that they were on is not this massive boat that if that was happening, he would not have been able to see it. But he wants to separate himself from any wrongdoing or any liability or anything involving his disappearance or any type of thing by definitively saying, the last time I saw him was 3 o'clock. But the last time my buddy talked to him on the boat that I'm on, a boat that's not a massive boat, he was yelling, Nolan, get the F on the boat. Now, in addition to everything that's going on with this, what else was I about to go to? I lost my train of thought, y'all. Hold on one second. We'll just go here in the meantime.
Anything. Is that your finding, that the evidence shows that the people being, with allegations being thrown in their direction, the suspicions that have been raised by these people that were in attendance with Nolan Wells have been proven or found to not have been around even when he was still alive? Is your findings consistent with anything along that verbiage with what people are saying about these kids that were with him?
No, I don't know the
Mm.
answer to that. They say Nolan chose to stay behind because he met a girl he wanted to talk to named Katie. That girl has spoken through her sister, and she says Nolan told her, I'm going back with my friends. So who am I supposed to believe? I don't know for a fact that what the boys are saying is true. I don't know for a fact that what the boys are saying is false. I do know they called Seatow, S-E-A, second word T-O-W, and said that their vessel was sinking, but yet they continued boating around in it for hours after. Is there an innocent explanation? Maybe. Maybe they thought it was sinking. They found the problem and they fixed it. Now, specters have been raised about audio suggesting Nolan had been on the boat on their return. I don't know if that was doctored. I don't know if it's real. I do know this. He went to Horn Island with them. They came back alive. He's dead. I'm going to investigate. You're darn right I'm going to investigate. And my wish is that his friends are innocent and that this was an accident. But it will be a cold day in HELL that I endorse closing down an investigation because somebody said I had nothing to do with that. Am I supposed to go, oh, okay, case closed, forget about it, and go tell the mom we're shutting down the investigation?
Have you?
Because so-and-so said he had nothing to do with it.
All right. Now, speaking of Katie, and there was something else that I was going to show y'all, but I forgot. Now, Katie has been in the center of this as well. People want to know what's going on with Katie, right? The friends are saying that the last time that they seen Nolan, he was cradling with Katie. Katie's sister took to social media to say, hey, my sister said that when she last saw Nolan, he was going to get on the boat with the boys. Now, the sister made posts on social media where it was picked up by the local news, and a bunch of Katie's Black friends decided to defend her. Now, after there was allegations and people were trying to point the finger and point this at Katie, a lot of her Black friends stepped in to say, Katie loves Black people and Black people are always at Katie's house. And they were saying that she is not capable of doing anything nefarious to Nolan because she likes Black people. Now, that is the sentiment that they carried on social media, but I'm going to show you guys the actual social media post where her friends are posting pictures and you can see Katie and a whole bunch of Black guys behind her. And you can see videos of Katie hanging out with a bunch of Black people. And all of her Black friends defended her and windmilled for her in the comment section, posting pictures of them and Katie and encounters they had and, defending her, etc. So let's go on over to social media. And one of Katie's friends decided to take up for her. And let me pull up this thread. And this thread happened the day after the situation when people first started to point the finger at Katie. Now, let's go through this all together and go through and show you guys what is being said. And Katie herself also commented underneath this post. So as you can see, this was posted and it's a public post by Mari Polk. And Mari Polk says, and another thing, I'm standing behind Katie McCormick. I understand y'all don't know her, but me and 1,000 other of us have literally slept, ate, and partied at the McCormick house. Don't forget, that's Dixie's Child 100. So Katie responded under this post and she said, what's understood don't have to be said. I love y'all. Just pray for his family and his friends. I'm good. And all I can do is pray for healing over them. This is a terrible situation, all in all. So this is what Katie said under the post. Somebody said, tell us what happened. Another person says, you know, they ask clarifying questions. And then underneath the post, her friends, like I said, start stepping for her. So this person says, we all know and love Katie. Nobody, as far as my family, is blaming Katie. We all love her and her whole family. She has spent many events with our whole family in Three Rivers countless times. There are many people that do not know her and trying to paint this narrative about her. And she definitely doesn't deserve that. But that's not my family. My family has no vendetta out against her whatsoever. We love her. I think we are trying to understand what happened, peace and love. And I'm not sure if this woman is related to Nolan, but her friend under the post said, of course, I knew for sure it wasn't the family. And so I'm assuming this is somebody related to Nolan. Of course, I knew for sure it wasn't the family. I posted this so she knows we're standing behind her and to give people some insight into her character. It's the outsiders, along with a few ignorant locals, who are going to create false narratives because they don't know her from a can of paint. You know, it's all love. My heartfelt condolences to you and your family. I pray the truth comes to light and anybody involved gets nothing less than the death penalty. And then she says, it's love. And then another person says, the outsiders can see the play. Were you there? What do you know? Hopefully you've talked to the police since you're on Facebook defending folks. And then another person says, I don't see your name on the GoFundMe. This isn't the support the family needs. Good day, outsider. So that is what they said to that person. Now, this person right here shared this photo of Katie. All right. So they said, listen, y'all are not about to make Katie out to be somebody who would do something to this kid. Look at all of these Black people that Katie be having in the house. That is what I interpret they're trying to, you know, get us to understand by posting this. So, as you guys know, there was allegations that somebody in Katie's family probably was mad that she was talking to a Black boy, and maybe her father or brother or uncle or somebody did something to Nolan because she's white and he was talking to her. Well, the friends are basically showing like, look, we're in her house. Look at all of these Black people that are in Katie's house. Look at us and look at Katie. Like, we're chilling and they accept us in their home. That's what I interpret the reason for this to be, but this is what was posted. Okay, so let me zoom out a little bit. And it says somebody in the background standing on the table. And then this person says, us at Katie house, straight Black kids. She never been that type. She never been that type that they think she is. All right. So then there was more pictures at Katie's. So this person right here also posted a bunch of Black kids in Katie's house in the comments so that they can defend Katie and, you know, let people know that she is not who people are trying to make her out to be. And she is somebody who is around a lot of Black people, and they do not believe that she did anything nefarious, according to what I see posted. Now, somebody said, somebody in the comments says, never has she left a soul out. Another person says, and what does this mean? She could be innocent, and this picture means what? Somebody said, it's given my mailman is Black. Another person says, you're next. And then this person says, and Katie has also been to Three Rivers and ate and partied with our family too. That don't mean she ain't got a hand in it. She at least knew what happened and said she didn't. So this person says, listen, I've been around Katie too, and I'm not just going to exonerate her because I've been around her. This person says, y'all too grown to be this ignorant. And then another person says, well, both can be true. Justice for this young man. And then that part. So another person says, from McGee, Mississippi here. I know I don't know any of you, but I just want to say this is so beautiful to see this beautiful love of a community. This is the Mississippi I know. I come from a home where we didn't see color, but only seen love. And I remember my best friend staying at my house and me at hers. And this makes me happy to see the younger folks not divided. And thing is, my grandparents were the ones who taught me to just love people. And I see y'all doing that. Thank you for sharing this with us. I pray Nolan's family finds peace, and the divided country needs to see how these youngsters here show us what love looks like. My heart feels a little happy seeing this. And I needed this because I hate division and I love love. And then this is Katie's sister, Gracie McCormick, right here. She says, thank you. You know we love you big. So Gracie McCormick is the one right here, and she's the person who is speaking out on her sister's behalf. She's the one who made a statement saying that her sister had nothing to do with it. Her sister assumed that he got back on the boat, etc. And so that's Gracie, her sister, that all of the news publications picked up what she said. All right. So in addition to that, other people who know her also made comments as well. Another person says, she comes from good people. Her and her whole family are the sweetest people. Praying for the family and all those that loved him. All right. And so on and so forth. So another person who is Black posts a photo of them and Katie as well. They posted these pictures, and it says, Katie forever straight this way. We know the real, I promise. So there were several of her Black friends who were coming to her defense under this comment section, sharing photos that they had with her to prove that she didn't have any ill feelings about Black people and that they are here to step for her regardless. Another person says, sadly, they're going with the narrative that that he was last seen with her, and them boys probably will too. I just hope they find the truth. So this person right here shared videos in the comments as well. All right, so this is them turning up, I guess, with Katie. All right, so I think Katie was to the left. And they're sharing a video with Katie. And it says, Oop. Another person says, she has the best heart along with her family. I pray they find out the truth. All right. And then another Black guy says, she definitely good people. All right. Another person says, okay, we get it. She's sweet. Her family cool, blah, blah. The question is she going to speak up and tell the truth about what happened? All right. And people wanted to know, like, all right, well, it's cool and all that y'all got pictures and all, but are y'all going to let us know the facts or what's tea? All right. So I just wanted to share some of those posts with you guys because a lot of her Black friends defended her. They said, listen, you guys got the wrong one and we step in for her regardless. So my question to you guys is, do you feel like the fact that she has had all of these photos and encounters with Black people, that she is innocent and that exonerates her in any wrongdoing as it pertains to Nolan Wells? Do you feel like the friends or the so-called friends of Nolan are just simply lying on her? Now, again, if you guys don't remember what her sister had to say, let me pull up the article in which the sister spoke out, and she said that her sister assumed that he got on the boat with his friends. Let me pull that up and we'll read through it. Mm-hmm. One second, y'all. I'm pulling it up. All right. So this is the article that was posted, and it says, and this was posted by the New York Post. It says the mystery girl Nolan Wells had reportedly stayed behind to chat with on Horn Island before he vanished has been identified. But the revelation and new conflicting accounts have only led more questions about his death. Wells, 18, had boated to the island located 10 miles of Mississippi Gulf Coast with a group of close friends on July 4th. His pals left without him, reportedly because the college football star stayed to talk to a girl, revealed to be Katie McCormick, who's 19, according to the Daily Mail. It says, but McCormick's sister provided a different account of what happened during the fateful trip than what the Wells friends have provided. The tragic teen had spent 5 hours celebrating on the 4th of July with hundreds of other college students on Horn Island when late in the afternoon, his friends started to panic as their boat was taking on water and had to rush back to land. It says, according to his friends, Wells told them to make the trip back to the mainland without him. Hold on, wait. My live cut off a piece of it. All right. According to his friends, Wells told them to make the trip back to the mainland without him as he was engrossed in conversation with McCormick, the outlet reported. Ashley Cole's mother, the mother of Wells' best friend, Warren Hudson, who was on the island at the time, released a statement on July 7th saying that the group of friends returned to the mainland after their boat had problems with the bilge pump, but Wells stayed back. However, McCormick's 23-year-old sister, Gracie, disputes the claims that Wells remained on the island to talk to her. According to Gracie, Katie thought Wells would have boated back to the mainland with his friends. Katie had a conversation and assumed that Nolan was getting ready to get on the boat he came on, Gracie told the Daily Mail. Katie assumed the friends telling him to get on the boat wouldn't have left him, she added. McCormick, who hails from a few towns east of Ocean Springs where Wells lived, was on the island with a different group of friends and was eventually taken home by her brother and his fiancée, Eva Criddle. She was quoted to have said, "We have given all the answers we can give to his mom and authorities," the sister added. There has been no suggestion of wrongdoing on McCormick's part. Although McCormick has not spoken publicly since Wells disappeared and was later found dead, she replied to a social media post defending her, the publication reported, and she said, "What's understood don't have to be said. I love y'all. Just pray for his family and friends," McCormick wrote. Another quote that they said that was quoted to have been said, "I'm good and all I can do is pray for healing over them. This is a terrible situation all in all." However, the conflicting accounts between people who were on the island interacting with Wells have sparked concern for the grieving family, who hired top civil rights lawyer Ben Crump to investigate. She's saying he went and got on the boat. They're saying he didn't get on the boat. So which is it? Crump previously told reporters. So these are the things that Katie's sister said to basically refute what the boys are saying. And I want to know what you guys think about it. What do you think about all of the things that have been coming out about this? Do you feel the medical examiner is going to do a thorough investigation? And do you think the findings will be accurate as to what is found in his system? And do you think that the sheriff's office is truly investigating this matter? Or do you think because Warren's stepmother is a judge, that she's a powerful person, that we have to assume is behind the scene pulling strings? Now, as you know, Warren's so-called best friend threatened Ben Crump and his mother and family and made a statement to Batum Tatum saying that they don't know who they're messing with. He sent out a strong threat and let them know that they better think about what it is that they're doing. So let me pull up the post where he threatened the family and Crump.
To push this narrative and really push it just shows me is like you have no idea who you're dealing with or who you're messing with. And I think he's taking the grieving parents and manipulating and turning this and making it sound all bad, because it's nothing's like that at all. No.
Have you gotten death threats? Or, you know, because I know that the other young men that I spoke to about this, especially the
Yeah, we might not be best friends with everybody, but I promise, if you're talking about Ocean Springs as a whole, Ocean Springs is going to have Ocean Springs back 110%. We back each other. Everybody I've seen, we back each other. And for them to push this narrative and really push it just shows me is like you have no idea who you're dealing with or who you're messing with. And I think he's taking the grieving parents and manipulating and turning this and making it sound all bad, because it's nothing's like that at all. No.
Have you gotten death threats?
All right. So he sent out that strong message to Benjamin Crump and threatened him for the work that he's doing for the family, to let him know that they have no idea who they're messing with and that Ocean Springs has Oceanside's back and they back each other up. Now, I want to know, what does that mean? Does that mean that the judge can pull strings so that their sons can get backed up? Does that mean that there will be a cover up and that things will be pushed under the rug so that the friends can have cover? Or like, what does that mean? Does that mean that something egregious is going to happen to the family? Now, we all know that the mother of Nolan Wells reported that somebody sent her a disgusting image in an envelope where it had arrows to her with dollar signs around it. So it's like, what exactly does this threat mean? We know where you live. We can get you dealt with. You better be quiet or else. Or does this mean, like, what is he saying? That they have no idea who they're messing with? What does he mean by that? Like, does he mean that things will get flipped onto them? Now, as we saw, things started to get flipped on to Christine Wansley. People started to review bomb the mother and started to slander her and put up fake reviews under her medical review page. But does he mean that people will go even further than that to have each other's back? Like, what lengths will people go to back each other up? And what exactly backing is he talking about? What type of backing each other up can we expect? Should the Wells family be seeking protection? Should they be in fear of their life? Or should they expect a cover-up in the investigation because these people are so powerful? Like, what does it all mean exactly? You know? Also, those of you guys who have heard the audio that we played in this stream, what is your interpretation independently of the transcript? What is your interpretation of what you heard? Did you hear Nolan's name being called? Did you hear something else? The one thing that I heard a little bit differently is I think the transcript said wake the F up. And from when I heard it in my own independent listening, I heard get the F up. And then when TMZ said they heard it, it said shut the F up. So there's all these different interpretations. So based on your knowledge of what you heard, what did you make out in the call? Do you think that it means that there was something happen? And do you believe these accounts of these individuals who are claiming that they have proof that Nolan Wells was on the island after the boys left? Now, I keep almost saying officer. He's not an officer. He's literally a man of no integrity. Batum Tatum, he posted a 10-second clip of the boys on a boat. The clip has no metadata attached to it. We have no idea what time of day the clip is. The clip is not even an extended amount of time. It's literally 10 seconds that could have happened at any moment. But we are to believe this 10 seconds also exonerates them because they have a video of them on a boat and one person looks like he's on the phone. And this says that they're innocent because we don't visibly see Nolan in a 10-second clip when there's 24 hours in a day, and we have how many hours of daylight? The sun comes up at what, 6 a.m. and then it sets at around 8. At what time was this taken? There's an hour missing of their boat ride that's unaccounted for in the GPS data. What are we supposed to take away from this? And like somebody noted in the on the comments, only one person in the photo has the same shorts on that we saw the guys to have in Nolan's picture. So let me pull that up real quick, because he always has this boom gotcha moments, and I'm like, what did you boom gotcha? Because it ain't really given what you claiming that is given. And my apologies, I thought that this video was 10 seconds. I gave it an extra 5 seconds when this was a 5-second clip. Okay, I gave them an extra 5 seconds, okay? But they want us to look at this, and this is supposed to be the aha, gotcha. Look, this ain't got Nolan on there. And as you can see, and let me pull up the photo with Nolan and them. So this is Nolan in the photo that he took. Now, people were looking at this gotcha of this 5 seconds with no metadata, no time stamp or anything, and they're like, yeah, look, this is proof. Let's bring it back. All right. So as you can see, it says breaking exclusive images shared of the Triton boat being towed by another boat after the viral sea tow dispatch call. Nolan Wells is confirmed not on board. These images were taken from the boat towing them. And where are they getting towed at? Just because you see a rope? The rope ain't towing anything. All right. So this is the freeze frame of the gotcha moment that they posted. And a lot of people compared the photo that he took with them on the 4th of July, and they tried to analyze to see if the photo shared similar shorts. Now, as you can see, one boy does have blue shorts, but in the photo that he had with Nolan, he had on a chain, he had on he had a different body. Now, in the photo, and I don't know if guys are using what's that Photoshop thing? What's that app where the women be making their bodies and their stomachs flat? Not Photoshop. It's another app. Now, I don't know if the men are using this app to make their bodies be built, but he even got a different body type, but it's a similar shorts, same shorts. Facetune. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Facetune. I don't know if they threw that in Facetune, but the body ain't bodying like it was in that picture. But here is the 5-second video that proves that they were getting towed and proves that Nolan wasn't on the boat, and it exonerates them because we see 5 seconds. We don't know what happened before the 5 seconds. We don't know what happened after the 5 seconds. We have literally 5 seconds, no timestamp, no metadata, nothing that proves a goddamn thing. But this is the aha moment to make the Wells family look like they're liars and they're seeking answers that is clear. Now, to them, it was clear that he drowned, right? To them, oh, this family is just fishing for stuff. It is clear that he drowned. Now, even though we don't have the report from the medical examiner, like I said, they upped the ante. Now, it's not just he drowned, it's he was drinking heavy and he was off that stuff. They are putting rugs onto him at all costs. So let's go through some of these comments because, like I said, these people have no bounds. They have no bounds. They have no bar. They will literally do anything. All right. So someone in the comments says, "You're an idiot. Clearly, you don't know or have an idea what a friend is like. And clearly, none of these boys were his friend." Another person says, "This a-hole couldn't think of a situation where he would cry in front of his wife, but he cried crocodile tears when Charlie Kirk died. Doesn't question the narrative being behind the slop, but has about Nolan and is challenging the narrative. In both cases, he's wrong." Another person says, "Who are these people with Nolan below? None of these swim trunks match to those in the video. And your images, did you grab a video of another boat?" Another person says, "Wait, so the new audio being put out is fake / AI? Another person says, "They said 7 people were on the boat. I'm counting 6, which means Nolan was, he was the 7th. This is just simply comments that I'm reading, not saying that they're factual or not factual, but this is what people are saying in the comments. Another person says, "I don't know, maybe I'm too curious, but what's that?" So they circled something right here, and I'm guessing that's a part of the boat, but that was of note to them. Then someone says, "Why is Katie on the boat?" And they circled this. Another person says, "This is what really happened. Take a listen." And then another person says, "Do you mean confirm TO be on board?" Whatever. Someone says, "Where was the boat people that was offering help?" And blah blah blah. So this is what people are saying, and then you have people who are trying to find like where the coordinates were, etc. So let me know what you guys think. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I was going to show y'all. I had quite a few things that I was showing y'all. Okay, so we went over the CETO, we went over the email. Okay, I showed that. All right, so hold on. I'm just making sure I went over everything I planned to show y'all. All right. So now at this time, hold on. I want to hear from you guys. So I'm going to drop the link in the chat to StreamYard. And y'all let me know what you think as it pertains to all of this new information. Click the link. Let me know what you think. I'm going to have a few moments where you guys can call in if you want to call in. I know it's pretty late. It's 12:54 a.m. for me and Callie. So I know it's pretty late for y'all, but child, we night owls over here. This is the time that we are up and at 'em. So y'all let me know. I want to hear from y'all in the comments. But as you can see on that boat, we saw that there was women on the boat, and we also heard that there was women behind the call of the CETO. Now, I want to be optimistic, right? And say this kind of reminds me of the D4VD case. Now, if you guys remember, the internet was finding all of these things as it pertains to the D4VD case. And the sheriff's department was very tight-lipped about it. They withheld the medical examiner report. They would not let that be shown. They claimed, now the sheriffs, there was reports that Celeste's limbs were cut up, and the sheriffs in Los Angeles said, no, the limbs were not cut. That's a lie. And there was all of this investigation, and a lot of people thought that the sheriffs in Los Angeles were dragging their feet and that they were not going to ever hold D4VD accountable. A lot of people thought, they're not going to arrest him. They're taking too long, yada, 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 yada. And a lot of people didn't have trust in Los Angeles because of the way that they were doing their investigation. Now, fast forward, we see that there is going to be a trial, and we've seen that they have 40 gigs of data, and they had been pursuing him rigorously and investigating him like no other. Now, do you think that a similar thing is happening in Mississippi? Do you think that, how we're pretty skeptical about them, but do you think that it's a possibility that they are similar to Los Angeles, where people lost faith in the investigation and thought that they were never going to arrest David, and then later we saw that they did arrest him? Or do you think that you don't have good hope about it? Let me know. But it is literally almost 2,000 of y'all on this live right now. It's 1,716 of y'all right now that I'm looking at. 1723. None of y'all click the link. Are y'all scared? Do I scare y'all when y'all come up here? Somebody said that I might be scaring y'all when y'all come up. Y'all let me know. Am I scaring y'all when, like, y'all scared to click the link or what? I want to hear from the people. If not, then I will end the live. Somebody named Nip clicked the link, but it says that your device is not connected. You have to allow the camera and allow the audio, and if you don't want your camera on, you just click the camera off. Somebody says, Neek, the sheriff came out the next day after Nolan was found and said no foul play. Right. Hello?
Hi.
Hey, what's your thoughts?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I want to say condolences to the family, but I also want to say,
okay, we're gonna go to the next one because I don't know what's going on. Hello, Jeezy?
Yeah, I'm on. Yeah, so I was looking at this whole case, and it's crazy that they bring in, like, everybody put all those pictures of Katie up there with all the black people. It's like, okay, she got black friends, so that automatically mean that her whole family like black people and she ain't had nothing to do with it.
That's what they trying to say.
That's so weird to me. Like, I hate when black people jump up and start caping for people. Like, okay, she could have had black friends, and yeah, so what do they got to do with Katie having something to do with it or knowing more than what she's telling?
That's what I want to know. What's any more thoughts about it?
That's all I got to say. It's just weird to me that everybody caping for it and don't know this girl from Adam. Even the people that do know her, it's like, was y'all there? Was y'all on the boat? Was y'all with Katie?
They weren't there. I don't think they was invited, but they had a lot to say. Letitia, hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, you got to cut it off in the back, though. You got to cut me off in the
Oh,
back.
sorry. Oh my good. How you doing, Neat?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
Good, girl. This is my first time catch you. I watch you all the time. I love you, girl.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
And I had sent you a super chat earlier.
Oh, I didn't see
One
it.
thing-
Hold on, wait. Which one are you? Oh, Letitia, you sent in 5.
Yes.
Thank you.
How
Thank you
you
so much. I
doing?
appreciate
This
it.
is a
Sorry I
pleasure
missed
talking to
it.
you. I can't believe I'm talking to you, girl. I'm like feel like I'm talking to Beyonce right now. But hey, so this is how I feel about the whole thing. We all know, like I'm in Denver, Colorado, and you know, deep in the mountains and stuff, white stuff happen all the time. When I was in Colorado a while back, years ago, they had like tried to arrest me and my guy, acting like we sell dope, so we had to come back down to the hood part and set up there with the white folks, you know. And the thing is, with Katie, this is what I honestly believe. I don't think she had nothing to do with it, but I do believe like she got a kick out of like two guys fighting out of her, fighting over her, you know. So I think when Nolan was so called trying to be with her or whatever, then that dude Bart came up, her ex-boyfriend or was boyfriend or whatever he was. And another thing, he thought since he was the superstar, like already in college, but Nolan was, if we recall Monday, he was supposed to go and start his college and start playing ball too. And they get very jealous of black men. I just want to say that they don't like for a black man to get all the attention. And nobody ever said Nolan was the only black man on the island, but he did come on the boat with all them white folks. And then when they TMZ and them talk about he ain't on the boat, well, we don't know if he was drugged down in the back somewhere or nothing. And I find it suspicious when the woman's asking them how high is the water. Now you know if you stand in water, oh, it's to my ankles, it's to my knees, it's to my waist, it's to my neck. You know, they wasn't answering them questions right, and no, something is very fishy to me. And I hope Nolan Wells' family get justice. And that Rango guy, he just like Austin for Tatum. He talk about the mama and the family. It's a bag for them. They want money. They wasn't expecting their son to die. What are you talking about? And I'm just saying, I got
I'm gonna wrap
and I
it up
got
because there's more people coming up.
grown
But go ahead,
kids.
give your final thought.
Okay, yeah, and I'm just saying I got 4 grown kids. One of my daughters, she's over in Japan right now. She's in the Navy SEAL. So she always be in water. She know about it. She travels a lot and everything. But Nika, I can't believe I got to talk to you, girl. So bye-bye. Love you, hug.
All right, thank you so much. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the super chat. I
Talk
appreciate
to you
when y'all
later,
come
love.
through and support the girl. Okay, I appreciate you. Thank you, Letitia.
Okay, talk to you later.
Okay, bye. All right, going to X. If you're on video, you have priority. I'll bring you up sooner. So, what is your thoughts about this? What do you make of all of the things that is being revealed in this story? Are you there, X?
I'm with you, Nick. It's questionable. The whole situation is questionable. I think like what? Oh, am I not speaking?
Yo, go ahead. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Hello.
I can hear you. Go ahead. Oh, damn. She clicked off. At first it kind of glitched a little bit, but all right, Nip, are you is your audio working now?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes. Okay. What was your thoughts? I think it kind of cut off in between you speaking.
Well, thank you for your platform. I was thinking, like, since it's the 4th of July, how come the investigators are not going back 4 years to see if Nolan was ever invited before or was always a white boat, this white people on the boat? The other thing is about his funeral. It was a bunch of football players that are black, and none of them were invited. It just seems to me it might have been a setup all along. I would like to look at how often on 4th of July was Nolan invited. And I don't trust Katie at all. And there are mentions that there's another girl that might be involved. And so I just got a feeling it had to do with some type of triangle. And they did murder him.
All right. Anything else you want to elaborate on?
I just hope we get through that grand jury, because if we don't, it's gonna be a problem.
Well, we'll never know when the grand jury is being had, and we'll never know what they present.
But we'll know the outcome if they said there's nothing happened. If they just announced that there's nothing, nobody's guilty. How are the people going to feel?
I mean, we hear Batum Tatum. They're setting up because he's getting fed information from the so-called friends, right? The people who were there, which I would assume are the people he interviewed. And Ashley Cole, the judge, she would have inside information. And I don't know if that's his source, but being that that's who's connected to him in this case, it sounds like they're setting up to put this as he just had
He
some
drowned.
type of he had some type of narcotic in his system that.
Well, they can't say that because they held back the organs that would have dictated whether it was narcotics. Why would they come out of that with that this late? I wouldn't believe it. I think the morgue would have put his organs in some fluid and make it appear that he was drugged out. They'll have nothing that proved that he was walking around loose and lost on an island or the boat. If anything, it was the guy that called in the boat sinking. He was out of his mind. That's for sure.
All right. Thank you, Nip.
You're welcome. Thanks a lot for having your patience.
Okay. All right. Somebody says, seems like his source is the same person that talks to TMZ. Sounds like it to me as well. Let's see. Maria, did I already pull you up? I don't think so. Maria? Hello? Maria going once? Maria going twice? All right. Camille C, what's your thoughts?
Oh, Neek, I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Hold on, let me go out and come back in.
All right. Miss Gogo, what's your thoughts?
Hello?
Yes.
I can't
Miss
hear.
Gogo. You can't hear me neither?
I can't hear. Oh my goodness. What am I doing wrong? Okay, Neek, if you can hear me, my question is Katie one of the girls that was on the boat when they made the emergency phone call? Okay, so that's my thing concerned about Katie, because they keep throwing her in. But if she wasn't one of the girls that was on the boat, how come she keep getting thrown in everything? That's my question.
Right.
And I cannot hear you. God dang it. I can't hear you. And then, okay, I can't hear you, but my other question is, why Officer Tatum Bomb, I'm going to call him Tatum Bomb, all of a sudden, all these people are getting in contact with him saying that Nolan was on drugs, doing all these drugs. He was with this drug dealer, or somebody else offered drugs, and I never heard him doing any drugs.
We gotta abbreviate, say rugs or something different. It'll trigger. But what was that? What'd you say after that? Oh, dang, she
I'm
can't
gonna
hear me.
drop because I cannot hear you. But those was my concerns. So thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I don't know why they can't hear me. Maria, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. I couldn't hear you the first time.
Okay. What was your thoughts?
Okay, look, first off, hello everyone, and I am from Mississippi, right next to Ocean Springs. But I was calling in to ask you, have you heard that Katie used to date Bart?
I seen that on social media, but the photo that was paired with him didn't look like Katie to me. The girl was like dark brown hair and Katie's like a blonde. So it didn't really look like her to me. Honestly, it looked like a different person. But I did see the picture that was supposedly Katie and him together. But it was just a picture of a girl and him, and then somebody said that. But I don't, you know, I don't know that to be factual
To be
because the girl
factual.
didn't even look like her to me, to
Yeah,
be honest.
I thought the same thing, but I was driving earlier when I seen that picture, but I was like, well, that could be a good motive. But that's what I wanted to know. Had you seen that?
Yeah, I seen it, but the girl doesn't look like Katie to me.
Okay. Well,
But
it
again,
was,
I don't, I don't know.
okay. Well, that was it. It was nice chatting with you.
Thank you. I appreciate you coming up.
Bye bye.
Camille,
Oh, dang. I still can't hear you, but all I want to say is when you say ruckus, I just die every time. And that's all I really have to say because I can't even hear you, anyways. But this is just disgusting. It's really bothering my spirit. And I pray for his family. And I really hope they figure out what the heck is going on. But, anyways, I hope you have a good night.
thank you, Camille. I wish she would have stayed on a little bit longer because we need to hear what she got to say.
Was paired with him didn't look like Katie to me.
Oh, she's behind in the stream. All right. So that is the callers. Thank y'all for calling up. I appreciate y'all so much. If there is any more updates, I will keep you guys posted. I'm trying to think if there is anything else that I was supposed to be covering with y'all. I was trying to get everything in there, but y'all let me know what y'all think down below. If you guys want to support the channel, y'all know y'all can always send a Cash App Neek at Night Media, but spell it like this on here, okay? Spell it like my channel and hit the like button. Let me know what you think. Let's talk about it. I'll catch you guys on the next video. I'm going to see what's going on social media, and if there is anything juicy that I want to react to, I might start up a brand new live. So refresh my page in like 10 minutes to see if I go live again because I'm not sleepy.